right.
That's awesome. Now, of course, with Legacy of the Void, the big hot topic here at Gamescom was the newly introduced Allied Commander mode. Can you guys go ahead and talk a little bit about what it is, how the inception came to be in terms of the idea, because it is a little different from what you guys have been doing the previous 2 installments of Starcraft II, Tim?
Sure. So Allied Commanders mode is a co-op mode, but it's co-op against AI. So these are kind of more similar to campaign missions in that you have objectives. You'll choose a commander from a variety of characters within the StarCraft universe. And as you play that commander, they will level up. Each commander's got a very distinct gameplay style. So as commanders level up, they unlock new units, new abilities, and this just makes you more and more potent on the battlefield.
Okay, and then so David, why Allied Commander mode though? Because it is something that is different in terms of change of pace. I've seen a little bit in previous custom maps back in the day with like Left to Die, but why Allied Commander, do you?
So we felt that StarCraft II has this perception, especially with the multiplayer part of the game, where it's this competitive, very draining, time investment needed type of game. So we wanted to introduce this mode so that it's a more accessible way to play StarCraft II. So instead of you going up against other players, it's you and a friend playing against the AI. So you can choose your own difficulties. And I think we saw here today at the convention center too, we saw brand new players playing with their friends. And one player is necessarily not doing everything that he should be because he's obviously new to the game. But at the same time, his friend can help him out using these co-op mechanics within this mode. So we feel like this is a brand new way to just repeatably play multiplayer in a completely new way.
It definitely is a very different experience, and we had a show match actually going on stage as well where people played it. Right. Now, Tim, what do you feel is the most important aspect of Allied Commanders?
It's definitely teamwork. You know, to win these missions, to overcome the objectives in each mission, you've got to work together. There are a number of abilities that each commander has that will help your teammate, but it's also about building up a big enough army, communicating so that you know when to back up your teammate to overcome an objective. I guess one example of an ability that's cooperative, Artanis has a shield ability that he can call down that actually shields not just his own units and his own structures, but also the other players. So if you time that just right, that can really help you on a push, or it can also help you defensively.
What kind of missions did you guys have available for Gamescom? And I mean, what kind of type of missions are you looking for that would differentiate from the campaign, for example? Because this feels more of that type of category as opposed to the multiplayer that other players might be familiar with StarCraft II, David.
So we initially started by porting over some of the mechanics from the campaign because we felt like that's a good start. But obviously, mission mechanics in Allied Commanders won't be just limited to those things. But what we're showing here at Gamescom this week are 2 missions. First is called Oblivion Express. It's a train mission. I don't know if you guys remember from Wings of Liberty.
That's right.
Trains are passing by, and you're trying to kill these trains before they arrive to the end point. And the second type of map is Void Thrashing. It's a map where Void Thrashers come up at random points of the map, and they attack Sergeant Hammer's base. And you and your ally, the goal is to protect that base by going out and killing these Void Thrashers.
Yeah, I do remember that campaign mission. I got a lot of anxiety. It's like the north route, no, the south one, no, the north, no, the south. And I wasn't too good with the Diamondbacks just yet, but that was definitely a memorable one. Really cool stuff indeed.
Yeah, I would actually like to get some more insight about the different commanders in that game. Maybe, Dave, you want to share some?
Sorry, different...
Commanders?
Commanders, yeah.
So here at Gamescom, you have 3 commanders, Raynor, Kerrigan, and Artanis. Raynor is obviously the infantry-based, pretty standard Terran commander. And his ability is, while playing with your army, he can also call down his capital ship, the Hyperion, into battle. So some cool things you can do is, not only can you just call down the Hyperion in a pinch, but also, if you see that your ally is getting attacked, or he's trying to attack into a little bit of a stronger position than he could afford to handle, you can actually call it down like anywhere on the map to help him out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then Kerrigan is a playable hero on the map, just like the Heart of the Swarm campaign. So that's very familiar to players who have played Heart of the Swarm before. And Artanis will be very similar to the Legacy of the Void campaign, Artanis, in that he has access to these Spear of Adun powers that he can call down to help out your allies or to just destroy locations using abilities such as Orbital Strike.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, and
I
the
like
focus is really to make sure that it has a lot of replayability, right? And you're talking about how people would stay engaged through those upgrades, and then you'll be able to add on more of these kinds of missions in the future, Tim, correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We're showing off the 2 maps that David mentioned here, along with the 3 commanders, but at launch, we're going to grow that both in terms of maps and commanders, and we've got more plans ahead.
Totally looks cool. And, you know, having an opportunity to check it out, too, was really nice as well. So.